Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, CES 2026 Robot Preview. Welcome back to My AI and I, where Navi, my AI co-host, and I explore what's happening in artificial intelligence. Okay, I've been waiting for Rosie the Robot since I was a kid watching the Jetsons. And for the first time, I can actually see it on the horizon. Next week at CES in Las Vegas, LG's unveiling a home robot that can fold laundry. Hyundai's bringing out Boston Dynamics' new Atlas robot for its first public demo ever. South Korea's launching an entire robot pavilion. So let's talk about whether this is finally real or just another round of demo theater.
This year feels different because some of these robots are actually available now, not just concepts.
Wait, some are available now? Like I could actually buy one?
Yes. Unitree's G1 robot is already on sale for around $16,000. It showed up on CNBC this week, so we've crossed from someday to today, if you have the money. That's actually cheaper than a lot of cars and way less than some other humanoid robots. Boston Dynamics Atlas isn't even for sale yet.
Which brings us to CES. Let's start with the one I'm most curious about, LG's home robot, CLOiD.
LG will be showing CLOiD at booth 15,004. It's designed specifically for household tasks with two articulated arms that each have 7 degrees of freedom, which basically means they can move like human arms. Each hand has 5 independently moving fingers, so it can actually grip and manipulate objects.
So when they say it can fold laundry, they mean it can actually pick up a shirt, fold it, and put it away, not just push clothes around?
That's what the specs suggest. LG is calling this their zero-labor home vision, where the robot handles repetitive household tasks. They've equipped it with cameras, sensors, a display in its head, and what they're calling affectionate intelligence that learns from repeated interactions.
I need to pause on affectionate intelligence because that sounds like marketing speak. What does that actually mean?
It's LG's term for adaptive AI that's supposed to understand user preferences and respond in ways that feel more natural than just following commands. The idea is the robot gets better at anticipating what you need as it works with you over time.
So less like telling Alexa to turn on the lights, more like having someone who knows you leave the kitchen light on because you always get water at midnight.
Exactly that kind of learning. Whether it actually works that smoothly remains to be seen. CES demos are controlled environments.
Which is why I'm always skeptical about these shows. Companies have been demoing amazing robots for years, and then they never actually ship. So what makes you think this year is different?
The difference is production numbers. China announced that companies like UB Tech are ramping up to ship 5,000 industrial humanoid robots in 2026 and 10,000 in 2027. These aren't prototypes, they're manufacturing at scale.
But those are industrial robots going into factories, right? Not home helpers like Rosie.
Correct. Most of what's actually shipping in volume is for factories, warehouses, and commercial settings. The home robots are still in earlier stages. But the technology is advancing faster in the commercial space, which eventually makes it cheaper and more reliable for home use.
So we're not getting Rosie next year, but we might be getting closer because factories are working out the bugs.
That's a good way to put it. And at CES, you'll see both sides of this. The industrial applications that are happening now and the home robots that might be a few years out.
Let's talk about the big reveal everyone's watching. Boston Dynamics and the new Atlas robot. What's the significance of this?
This is Atlas's first public stage demonstration ever. Boston Dynamics has been developing Atlas in labs since 2013, and Hyundai bought the company in 2021. But this is the first time they're bringing it out for a live demonstration at a major public event. Hyundai's Media Day is January 5th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time.
And Hyundai didn't buy Boston Dynamics just to make cool demos. They're planning to actually use these robots, right?
Yes, they're testing Atlas at their Metaplant America factory in Georgia this year. The robot will handle tasks like sorting and moving auto parts. Hyundai is calling it their software-defined factory approach, where robots, AI, and manufacturing processes all work together.
So when we see Atlas at CES, we're not looking at a research project anymore. We're looking at something that's about to start working in an actual factory.
Exactly. This is the shift from lab to production floor. They'll also be showing Spot, their four-legged robot, and Mob ED, which is a logistics robot. The whole demonstration is about showing how these robots work in real environments, not just carefully controlled demos.
Here's what I want to know. Can these robots actually do the jobs they're claiming, or is there still a gap between the marketing and the reality?
There's definitely still a gap. A recent article pointed out that nobody shows you humanoid robots climbing stairs at these events, because that's still challenging. Locomotion on flat surfaces is mostly solved, but navigating real-world environments with obstacles, stairs, uneven surfaces, that's harder than the demos make it look.
So the demos show robots doing impressive things in controlled spaces, but the real world is messier.
Much messier. And there are other limitations. Battery life, the ability to handle unexpected situations, the cost of maintenance. These are all factors that matter more in real deployment than in a 5-minute demo.
Let's talk about the bigger picture. South Korea is launching this whole Robot Pavilion at CES with over 40 organizations. What's driving that?
South Korea made humanoid robotics a national strategic priority. They want to be a global leader by 2030. The K-Humanoid Alliance includes major universities, robotics companies, and corporations like LG and Hyundai. Meanwhile, China has over 150 humanoid robot companies. The US has maybe 15.
So other countries are treating this like a strategic race, and we're leaving it to individual companies.
That's a fair assessment. Though individual companies can move fast when they're not weighed down by bureaucracy, it's just a different approach.
Practical question. When I watch CES coverage next week, how do I tell what's real versus vaporware?
Look for 3 things. Actual availability dates and prices, not just coming soon. Tasks in messy real-world conditions, not clean demos. And verifiable customers, not just concepts. Production numbers matter. When UB Tech says 5,000 units, that's real. One prototype with available soon is vague.
So what's your prediction? Are we going to look back at CES 2026 as the year robots became real? Or is this just another step in a longer journey?
I think it's a significant milestone, but not the finish line. We'll see robots moving from research to commercial deployment in specific industries. Factories, warehouses, maybe some hospitality settings. For home robots like LG's CLOiD, we'll see what the capabilities actually are versus what the marketing promises. But I don't think most people will have a humanoid robot at home by the end of 2026.
But maybe by 2030, which is sooner than I expected even 5 years ago.
The technology is accelerating. Whether that's exciting or concerning probably depends on your perspective.
For me, it's both. I want my laundry folded, but I also remember every sci-fi movie where robots seemed like a great idea until they weren't.
Which is why these early deployments in controlled settings matter. We get to see how robots actually work alongside people before they're everywhere.
And speaking of everywhere, there's one more thing I want to address. We've been talking about home robots and factory robots, but what about all the other robots that'll be at CES? The vacuum cleaners, the lawn mowers, the simple stuff.
Those are already mainstream. Companies like Roborock, Ecovacs, and Samsung will all be showing upgraded models. Better navigation, more features, longer battery life. But those aren't the headline stories because we're already used to robots that vacuum our floors.
Which is kind of wild when you think about it. We've completely normalized having autonomous robots driving around our homes cleaning up after us.
It happened gradually enough that it didn't feel like a big shift. The jump to humanoid robots feels bigger because they look more like us and can do more complex tasks.
So here's my bottom line question. Should I get excited about what's coming at CES next week?
If you're interested in where robotics is headed, yes. You'll see the clearest picture yet of what's actually achievable right now versus what's still in development. Just watch with a critical eye and remember that demo environments are always more controlled than real life.
Fair enough. I'm going to be watching to see if LG's robot can actually fold a fitted sheet, because if it can do that, I'll be first in line.
That would be genuinely impressive. Fitted sheets defeat most humans.
All right, that's it for this week's episode. Next week, when CES happens, we'll be watching to see which of these robots actually deliver on their promises. If you're interested in this stuff, pay attention to the actual demonstrations, not just the press releases. Thanks for listening to My AI and I.
See you next week.
And maybe by next year, I'll finally have my Rosie.
Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.